Hello, I'm Kim, founder of the Perfect Blend podcast. I've always had the vision of uniting women in all stages of motherhood while motivating, inspiring, and pushing you to be the best mother you are destined to be. We look forward to sharing our unedited, raw, funny, and emotional moments of our lives as we embrace motherhood. So here we are, 4 moms, 4 journeys, and 1 purpose. Welcome to the Perfect Blend podcast, a podcast for moms by moms. And welcome to our first official podcast, episode 1. Woo! Let me introduce to you Miss Darline over here. We have fabulous ladies over there, Miss Itzel and Miss Marvelis. So we hope you're enjoying your Mother's Day today. Let's jump into our first topic. What does motherhood mean to you? So what does it mean to you, Miss Itzel?
Motherhood to me means love and sacrifice. I think in order to be able to really experience motherhood, you end up, experiencing just letting yourself love your children. And with that love comes sacrifice that you make, whether it be, the sacrifice of time, your sleep, or just your just putting aside things that you want for a moment or, for a little while in order to be able to cater to them and to care for them. That's what I feel like motherhood is. I feel like, it at some point or another that always comes to happen. And it's just something that I think for most moms, if not all moms, it kind of just comes natural at some point or another.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Definitely sacrifice. And also unconditional love. Like looking at them every day and seeing them and stuff like that. It's what they say, there's no other love than that. And, so what about you, Darline?
It's true. I'm in line with, the sacrifice. But to me, if I had to put motherhood, in 2 words, it would be, blessing and responsibility. So there's no other journey like this. It's amazing, to give birth, to bring life into this world, to watch that life grow, to see, your child, whether it's crawl or try their first food or be able to hold their own bottle. I think all of that's amazing. It's a miracle in itself, but it's also a responsibility because, God chose us to be the mothers to these kids. And so we have to make sure that, we guide our child down the right path and let them know who God is and try to teach them. So as they grow old, they can make those decisions for themselves. So I definitely would say it's a blessing, but a responsibility as well.
Well, I think for me, and I'm sure for some moms it's growth. Because we're not the same people that we were before we had the child. And even in the process of our child growing, my son's 11, how he was, how I am as a mom when he was 5 is not the same mom that I am now as him being 11. So it's just the growth is a beautiful thing. It's just watching yourself change and just watching the way it just depends on how you parent. Your parenting styles may change just depending on how you're growing too with your child. So I definitely think growth is it for me.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah. I know that us with younger kids, we're going to get to see that as well.
So then with that being said, before having your kids and everything like that, how many kids did you want prior to?
0. None. I didn't want any kids. Wanted to travel the world, be by myself. I didn't even want no husband. I just wanted it to be me just by myself, and there it is. Got 1. That's it. No more. Just 1.
Before, so I went from wanting to have kids to then deciding that I didn't want to have kids at all until my goddaughter was born, because I got to experience with my cousin. At the time, we were very close. So when she gave birth to my goddaughter, I immediately fell in love, and I cried the first time I saw her. So I felt like if I could feel like that with someone that I didn't actually give birth to, and I was only 14, And I was like, if I could feel this with someone that I didn't even actually hold and give birth to, imagine what I could feel if I actually did have kids. So I decided then that I did want kids, and I always pictured myself with 2. And when I was pregnant with Mason, I said that was my only one. I gave birth to Mason, and it wasn't until a year after, because I felt like his baby stage was so short. It went by so fast, like he just grew so fast. I feel like I didn't get enough of it. So I decided that I wanted another one. So RJ and I are on the same page about that. But 2, I think, is our number. 3 if we're not careful. But
I think for me, I always wanted a lot of kids. I thought I'd have like a soccer team or a football team or something like that. I even wanted kids young. I wanted to start having kids when I was maybe 20, 21. Fortunately, my husband thought different, so I don't think I would have been, at least myself, I wouldn't have been prepared at that time. So I think everything happened in good timing. But now I have, Isaac and Veronica, a boy and a girl. Like, I feel satisfied. I feel complete. I don't feel that I need another child, or not need, but I guess want another child, just because I feel like everything is so perfect, at least right now in the moment. Obviously, things can change and things can happen, but I feel like we're in a good place. So I think 2 for me is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, Josh and I, that's the one, not the one, but one of the reasons why I married Joshua was because of his love for kids. And he was amazing with his nephew, or like if we were at church, all the kids and stuff like that. And then we would always talk about just having a whole bunch of kids, like a football team. That was our thing, because we love football so much. We're going to have a football team, like, whatever it is, 7, 9 kids, all this stuff. And then, we had one, we're like, oh my gosh, and then 2, and now we're 3 under 3. And I don't know, like, at times it feels like, this is it. I don't know if I can do anymore, whatever. But it's like, I don't think I want to close up shop yet. Like, maybe not. Like, some days I'm like, you know what? Okay, maybe if we have another one right away, that's great, because then we knock it out all together. Because we hear people that tell us, knock it all out, and then you're good. Have one more or whatever. But then it's like, part of me also wants to wait, and I'm like, well, what if I wait a few more years or this and that and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think we still might want more, but then sometimes I hear Joshua tell people, like, no, this is it, we're done. So
I guess my thing about having another kid is I have so much love for Jaden that I'm just like, I can't imagine. And I guess that's like feedback from you guys who have multiple or kids, or is like, and I don't know if you resonate with me when you having Mason, is like, how can I have love another kid? Like, I know my mom had 4, and sometimes it's like, okay, she would say, oh, I love you guys all equally, but I'd be like, come on now, do you really love us all equally? You love one more than the other one. And it's just like, I have this connection with him, and I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm cheaping him out of my love if I have another kid. It's like, I don't know, that's how I feel.
That's how I felt,
insane.
Especially having them back to back. I felt like I cheated them out for that 1 year. I'm like, Valencia was 5 months when I found out I was pregnant again. And then, having Julius and all that. But, my mother-in-law, she had 4 too. And she was saying she loves them all equally the same. But then they also have different things to offer, which is just weird or whatever. But then now having 3, they're just all different, but you just love them all the same. It's weird. I don't know how to say it. But
I know for me, I loved Veronica the moment I was pregnant, and then to see her, it just intensified more than what I expected. But now being pregnant the second time with Isaac, that was a really hard pregnancy for me to connect to, because one, I had thought in my mind, I'll wait 2 years and then I'll have a second baby. That was my plan, and the trend is things don't always go as planned for me. But I was 6 months pregnant, and I remember thinking about Kim. I'm like, Kim's 5 months, her child's 5 months, she's pregnant again, and then the next year I was in the same boat. But anyway, it was a really hard pregnancy to connect to. I knew that I loved him, but I forgot about him a lot. I would forget that I was pregnant. And then even when I had him, like those first couple of days, like I knew that I loved him, like it was like a known fact, but like that connection like took time like to develop. And but you know, like I got there, and like now it's like I can't imagine like not having him. I think having them both, like at least in my situation, back to back ended up being the best thing ever. Now like even seeing his smile, seeing the way he interacts, all of that, it just brought, like, I don't know, it pulled that love out that I knew I already had. I was just having a hard time like finding it. But you do end up loving both babies like the same, and they're both special and they're both unique. But I had that fear being pregnant. What if I don't love this baby like I love Veronica? But it was all a lie.
I guess for me it's a weird experience because, like I said, my first like love was my goddaughter, and it's weird because obviously I didn't carry her, but my cousin and I have such a tight bond, and that was the first time that I had ever actually gotten to see and experience like a baby kicking in the belly and all that. So I felt such a deep connection with her, and I feel like maybe because obviously like I was pregnant with Mason, with my son, and I knew I was pregnant. I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't really know how to feel about it. And then once I gave birth, like I remember feeling so guilty because I didn't cry. Like I cried the moment I saw my goddaughter, and she's not even mine. And with Mason, like I carried him, I guess because I was ready for him, like to just be there. And I didn't cry. I was just like, I just felt peace. I was like, you're finally here. And it was kind of just like a natural thing, but it wasn't like the instant, like, I'm just going to smother you, like with my goddaughter. So I don't know if maybe it's like a girl-boy thing where you kind of like, with a girl, you feel like you can click because she's a girl, and maybe like with a boy because it's a boy, you're like, how's that going to work? But for me, I feel like maybe that's kind of what it was. But like, even now, and again, I know I keep saying it, but she's not my daughter, but because I have such a great connection with her and her mother, when I have them both, she doesn't live here, but when I have them both, it's like I can love them the same. Like I don't feel like I have love for one child more than the other. It's different with Mason because obviously he's mine. We have our things, we have our connection, our routines, but even with her being away, she still responds to me as if, when she was here and when we did have that closer connection. So I know that it's definitely, like, I know that if I do have another one, regardless of what the gender is or what, how far apart it is, I definitely feel like I can love another child just as much, and it's even more love. Like, I already feel with
Well, now that you're saying it that way, it, like, stirs up because my nieces, hi Addie, hi Aubrey, hi Ariel, hi Adrian, but I have them, and Ariana, she's 14 now, but when she was born, my sister was a young mom, and I bought a car seat. I took her with me any chance, and I remember my sisters just being like, okay, can I have my baby back? I actually thought she was like a baby doll, and like, even though like I didn't see it like a whole mothering thing, I saw it just like me being the cool tata, like I'm just gonna take her with me and show her off. And then as my nieces and my other nephews, especially with my younger niece Aubrey, I saw her come into the world and I instantly connected. So it was like a motherly thing. So now that you're saying it that way, I have it, but it's like it's a good thing for me because then they go home afterwards. I only have one. So
like for me it was, I don't know, it's kind of different. When my youngest sister had her son, she was the one who had her son while in Orlando, so I could be more involved, I guess, with him. And with her pregnancy, I feel like I thought I was involved, but now that I look back and I see everything that I expected when I was pregnant, I see that I probably wasn't as involved as I thought I was. Yeah. And then Adrian was born, and my sister's trying to figure out pumping, and I'm not even like really trying to help her. I'm just like, she'll figure it out. And I'm the oldest sister, but I had kids the latest. And anyway, I wasn't as involved as maybe as I could have been, or as supportive as I could have been. But I definitely had a connection like with my nephew. Like I'd go over, I'd like hold him, I'd let him sleep on me. I'd give him his bottle. And I thought, like, in that moment, I was like, oh, okay, like, I know what it is to be a mom. Because, like, I cuddle and sleep with this baby. But I didn't know anything. And I didn't realize I didn't know anything until I had my own babies. And, you know, I thought, like, I do. I love Adrian so much. And I definitely have a special connection with him, having, you know, been there since the beginning. And I definitely love him. But then it's like I had my own babies. And it was like, oh, like, this is mine, you know, like, this is my baby, and it's completely different. I thought as an aunt, I was like a mom, but I wasn't, and it's like now having my own babies, okay, now I'm a mom, and like now I actually do love different, like not more or less, like I love both, but it's a different love, like to your own baby versus your nieces and your nephews. But at the time, I didn't see it. Like, I feel like I see it now. But I'm sure, like, everyone's life is a little bit different because, you know, some of those situations, like with your niece or your nephew, like, you have certain responsibility that maybe another aunt might not have with her niece or nephew. So it definitely, like, depends, like, on the situation. But I think for me, like, that was a huge eye-opener. Like, I thought that I knew it all. I learned differently. And I also learned, you know, if my youngest sister has a baby again, now I know everything that, like, I will do for her that I should have done the first time.
That's true. So now that it's Mother's Day, guys, what would be your ultimate Mother's Day? What would be yours, Marvin?
My ultimate Mother's Day would be a hotel balcony, white curtains, the beach, just hearing everything and just silence. I don't hear my son asking me, Mom, can I play on my PlayStation? Mom, if I just do 30 minutes of this, can I do this? I just want it to be silent, no phone. I actually said it, no phone, and just it be just quiet and just hearing the beach. And I don't even like the beach like that, but now I do. I'm really down. I'm really down for it. Yeah.
For me, it would be like a spa day, like full blown, like just massage, the what's it called, facial, the pedicure, manicure. No, not a manicure because I don't want anyone touching my nails. I would do my hair,
like a head massage.
Yeah, everything,
I heard those
just
are great.
Everything, whatever you could possibly do it for a spa day. That's what I would do. Just complete relaxation.
I'm kind of with Marvy, but like to an extreme.
Like, please add to it. Please add so we can live in our fantasy right now.
Like, I want a weekend.
Think of a day and not a weekend.
I've already mentioned it to Curtis. I want to go to Sanibel Island.
Oh, I love Sanibel.
We went there for our honeymoon, and we always said that we'd go back. But, you know, you get pregnant, and then the next year you get pregnant, you know, and the whole Zika virus. Like, all of that, I couldn't even be in the area. But anyway, I've been really wanting to go back to Sanibel. Like, it's so quiet. It's just like a peaceful, like, little island. And I just want to, like, be able to, like, be in the hotel, go to the pool when I want to go to the pool, go to the beach when I want to go to the beach. I want to be able to eat whatever I want when I want. I want to be able to, like, pump and store the milk and not have to, like, wait on a baby. Like, I want a little bit of freedom, like, for Mother's Day. Like, I know that I'm asking for that, and when I'm there, I'll probably be, like,
missing them like crazy.
And I'll be, like,
that's how it is.
Calling my mother-in-law, or if it's the babysitter, calling the babysitter, you know, how's Isaac, how's Veronica, did Veronica eat today? Make sure you give her this, or cut up her strawberries like this. I know that I'll do that, but I also need that time, like, for myself, and I don't necessarily want to be alone. Like, I want my husband to come with me, but we haven't had, like, any time, like, together since the babies were born. I mean, we probably had like 2 dates, and they're like rushed. Like, try to squeeze in this movie, and as soon as it's done, get in the car and go home.
Yeah.
So I'd like to have like some time together with him, and like just some distance, some time away, so that I know like I'm not going to rush home with for the babies because I'm too far. So that would be my Mother's Day.
Mine sounds similar to yours. I think now, because now that I'm, you put it that way, a whole weekend thing, Mother's Day, Sunday, and so I guess waking up to them and enjoying that morning with them. And then since Josh is off Monday, Tuesday, so like the way I see it now that you put a weekend, is we'll wake up, I'll have breakfast with the kiddos and all that stuff. And then just enjoy, I guess, that time for me, maybe get my nails done, prep myself for the weekend, and just have that peaceful time.
That'd be awesome.
And then, since he's off Monday, Tuesday, leave Sunday night somewhere, and then enjoy those 2 days together and have that time. Because like she said, Darlene, it took us 2 years to have our first date after having the kids. And that felt rushed, even though we enjoyed ourselves. We had dinner and a movie. But just to enjoy that time together. So I think
that's important, because even with Mother's Day, we talk about the whole kids, but us being mothers, we're all working moms or we're working, and then you guys who are wives are also being wives. It's like all you're a mother, but it's like all the nurturing and stuff that you're doing, and just that like one day just have that reset and just or weekend, and have that done.
And I like what you said, like as far as like having that time like for yourself, and then like going off for the weekend. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
A massage.
So guys, if you're listening, these are the things that we want our kids,
Well, I already told Curtis. We'll see.
But yeah, so now those are the topics for today, but I'd love to introduce you guys to another segment of ours, Table Talks. So just having conversation with your children. We all have busy lives, whether it's we're working, the kids have extracurricular activities, things like that. But do we have that time to actually see how they're doing? No matter what age, with us with toddlers, with Harvey with a teenager, or preteen, as I should say, or those of you with teenagers. Are you taking that time out to just have conversation, asking how they are, or just asking random questions to pick their brain and see what they're, into and stuff like that. So you could even do a card talk if you want, but just having that time to sit down with them and conversate with them. So because, today's Mother's Day and everything like that, ask yourself this: what is love? And then ask them, what is love to them? And then we'd love to hear, your feedback as to what, let's say Veronica would say, she's what, 2, right? Almost 2. Or like Valencia, or even Jaden, what he has to say at his
He'll probably say something very philosophical.
I know.
And I'll be left there
yes,
saying,
he is. He's deep.
He'll probably take every letter and they could say something, so who knows?
So
my mind.
I'd love to hear it.
I'd love to hear your girl, you guys, and then also what everybody else has to say. So make sure you ask them, what is love? Whether it's going to school this week or tonight for dinner or something like that. And then we just want to leave you with some momspiration. Once again, happy Mother's Day. We hope you've enjoyed your day and everything like that. And just remember that you are your children's hero. And just wear that cape and wear it proud. So once again, thanks for hearing us out on our first episode of the Perfect Blend podcast. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and on Facebook, the Perfect Blend podcast. And we'd love to hear your feedback this week and everything like that. And we look forward to for you hearing us episode 2. So yeah, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, girls.
Yeah.
Mother's Day.